Ooh, look who is this? Who is this? Hi, chị My. Good morning.
Good morning.
You must be preparing some lunch boxes.
Right. Here I have some salad, carrot, tomato, cucumber.
Cool.
Today is quite like go vegan for me.
Go vegan. Go vegan day.
Yeah.
I watch a lot of her videos on TikTok, and I have to say that I love her recipes for every kind of cuisine from the West, from Vietnam, Asia. So how often do you do meal preparation?
I can say that mostly every day.
Every day.
Sometimes except weekend because I go back to family house to eat. So I don't need to cook anymore. Yeah.
So she's not only doing meal preparation for only herself, for her hobby as well.
Yeah.
That's amazing. So if you had your own cooking show, suppose maybe in the future, what would you name that?
Actually, I never think about this, but maybe like mi ngon lành.
Mi ngon lành.
So in Vietnam, like ngon lành, ngon is just like yumminess, right? Yummy from outside, but lành is something like good, fresh, and healing from inside out. So I think, yeah, mi ngon lành is yummy, right? Like me.
Brilliant! Mi ngon lành, guys. Stay tuned to Mi ngon lành show in the future. So
Awesome.
yes, we have already finished the lunchbox.
Okay.
Nice, lovely. I love that.
Okay, and then we take to work, to school, or maybe go for camping.
Brilliant. So because chị My is very well known for her green lifestyle, and that is just shows us how perfect she is, a fit, a match for the show. Today we're talking about green lifestyle in Vietnam, in EU, in daily life, and the first guest, as you can see, chị My, chị Nguyễn Hồ Trà My, a content creator that you might have a lot of been following on TikTok. But we're not alone. We also be accompanied by two other special guests, and they already here. So please say hi to them.
Go.
Welcome. Hello. Good morning.
Hi.
Good morning. How are you?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Nice to see you.
Hello, morning.
Hello. Good morning. Thank you so much for joining us. So, ladies and gentlemen, guys, we're here with three special guests for the second episode of Yeah Youth. First of all, we have the Swedish ambassador to Vietnam, Mrs. Anne Marvel.
Hello.
And also, we are very pleased and honored to welcome Deputy Head of Mission of Czech Republic to Vietnam. We have Mr. Lucas Mussel.
Hello, xin chào các bác.
Lovely. And the content creator with more than 1 million followers, and I'm a huge fan of her videos on TikTok. Famous for her green lifestyle, cook, travel, eat. We have chị Nguyễn Hồ Trà My.
Yay. Hi everyone.
And everyone is already ready for the show today, so please take a seat.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you so much for joining us. We are so pleased to have you here and so pleased to know that we share the same values in common, caring for the environment and pursuing a green lifestyle. So first of all, we would do some icebreaker questions so that we would love to know more about you and also for the audience to get to know more about you. So each of you will take turn to answer. Question number one, what thing in the nature, except for the animal, what thing in the nature best describes you today?
Describe me
Today.
Best describe me today. Okay.
What thing in the
Maybe
nature?
Flower. This flower. I love this. Today it's bright. It's white, and it's like it looks very refreshing.
Nice and beautiful and fresh. Mi ngon lành mà.
Mi ngon lành.
And Mr. Lucas?
For me, I would say also bright, but I would say sun. Because
Sun.
yeah, I have a few tasks also in the afternoon, so mine like burning and bursting inside like sun, but also full of energy like sun is. So definitely sun today.
Energetic. Nice. And Miss Anne?
Then I would go for wind.
Wind. Why wind?
Clean air makes you breathe, and it also contributes to clean energy to use the wind to its fullest extent.
Wow, it reminds me of the mountainous areas in your country, very beautiful in Sweden. I would love to be there. Yes, so the second questions in the icebreaker questions is that if you were a season, what would you be? Winter, summer, fall, and what else? Spring.
Oh, yeah. Summer for me. Yeah, I love wearing colorful things and also take a sunbath.
Nice.
Yeah.
And Mr. Lucas?
I think I won't be different in summer because the winters in Europe, especially in the part where I'm from, are really ugly. I don't like winters at all. That's why I love Vietnam so much. So Definitely summer for me as well.
Summer. We have the same answer.
I would say autumn.
Autumn.
I think it's a beautiful season in our country with all different colors.
Yes.
And also we have a lot of berries and new vegetables and so on to pick that season.
Yes.
So it's a beautiful and productive season.
Wow, very soft and elegant autumn. Guys, you can see that all the answers are very relevant and represents the characteristics of each guest. Summer, flowers, summer, sun, wind, and autumn. Very connected. I love that. The last question, I would love to ask you about a habit that you feel the most proud of in terms of daily life, green living.
I think it's home cooking for me, and also quite selective to choice everything I put in my mouth, everything I wash, my vegetable, I put in my skin, my hair, my body. So I'm quite picky a little bit.
Top-notch quality for your body.
Yeah.
Love that.
My daily habit connected with the green lifestyle really. Let's say I try to educate, especially when I'm back in my country, the younger, by simple actions like if I see someone to drop rubbish on the street, I follow him if it's a younger person. It's more polite. And I tell him that something dropped to you. And normally I think it's that the person starts to think about it and he will not do it for the second time. So of course I don't do it daily and I don't do it normally in Vietnam because I would consider it disrespectful from a foreigner. But in my country I try to do it.
Definitely, and I think that you being here is also the way for us to raise awareness for the young people about the green lifestyle. So thank you for that. And Miss Anne?
Probably biking, because I really love biking to work or biking to go shopping or anything. It's a green and sustainable way of transporting yourself. For me, it means focus. You think alone. You can think about a lot of things freely. And it also allows you to get to know your neighborhood and your city, so you see the historical, cultural sites, the nature while you are cycling, and on top of that you get your daily exercise without having to schedule it into a busy schedule.
Lovely. And if you watch 90 Seconds with EU Ambassador last year, you might see a very familiar face with the Swedish Ambassador, Miss Anne here, with her habit of riding bicycle. And I still remember your sustainable roof, the greenhouse. That's very impressive. So we will talk more about that later in the session. So for me, a habit that I think changed drastically my views in terms of green living is that I drink a lot of Starbucks. And whenever I drink Starbucks, I will post on my Instagram stories, oh, lovely, so good. So when I buy the Starbucks, they will have the plastic cups. And then some of my followers will text me, why are you doing this? And I'm like, what do you mean? They would say, because you use so much plastic. And from that time, I think, oh, I'm the one who is actually destroying the environment. So from that moment on, I always bring this bottle to me and also my reusable cup so that we can reduce the amount of plastic that we use. So I think that small habits can definitely contribute to a big changes in terms of green living. So what are some of your small changes in your life towards the green lifestyle? Mr. Lucas?
Well, really, we can start from really small details. Coming to office, most of us drink coffee, right? As you mentioned already. So I often use the beans from the coffee that remains there, either to the plants that we have in the garden, which is a great fertilizer, or we use it in the fridge because it also absorbs the smells from other foods in the fridge. I try to not to use so much AC, especially when I'm off the office. I switch it off completely, which I'm many times criticized by my colleagues that you can't live there and work there without AC, especially in a country like Vietnam. But I think by these small things, which are not imposed to us, but that we do normally from the heart, are the good beginnings, first steps.
Thank you so much for the inspiration. Today, for your information, in this room there is no AC. We use fans and also the wind. The freeze. And also, I love some of your green elements in your outfits. Just presents how you care about the green living. That's perfect. And Miss Anne, I also remember you not only ride bicycle to work, but also I'm very impressed at your veggies garden, very big, and other habits. Can you share us more about that?
Yeah, when it comes to food, we try to be circular. So we aim at no food waste. So all the food waste from after meals we compost, and then we use the compost in the residence to plant vegetables and herbs. So we have cucumber, chilies, carrots, all kind of vegetables, and all kind of those really tasty herbs that you use in Vietnamese cooking. I'm also a vegetarian because, because my daughter is, so I followed her example. And we are well aware that meat production stands for a majority of the greenhouse gas emissions. So it's a reasonable thing to become vegetarian, but it's also a very healthy lifestyle to eat vegetarian, so that's some of the things we're doing.
Chị My must like her veggies garden a lot because she has fantastic veggies garden.
I wish actually, because we live in an apartment. It's quite small balcony, like I just like plant very small herb or something. That's it. And it's not like too much green over there. So I wish I can see your green herb things. So for your questions, like actually I quite how can I say, I do home cooking every day, mostly every day, and I'm quite picky in terms of like choosing the food, and to make no food waste. I plan for 1 week, and I go to grocery for on the weekend, and I take 1 hour to process the food and put it in the fridge. So that's in the morning. When I wake up, I just need like 15 minutes or 20 minutes to prepare for lunch, or maybe for the dinner. Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah. Actually, my colleague always asks me like, how long it take you? 1 hour, 2 hours? No. I wake up like 7:30 and I just prepare it quite quick because I all planned it on the weekend and like in the morning. That's So this is the first. The second is food choice, because I'm right now like care about what I like, the vegetable I eat, or the meat, or even like for example like I go with organic vegetable. So it's less chemical and less harmful like insecticides to the environment and to the water. And also if I choose the meat, it needs to be a happy farm then where the animal really treated well with the hygiene environment. So this is because right now I cannot cook the meat immediately, but I just try to like replace it with a fish or with more vegetable. So I think this is also have a good like effect to my health right now. I'm more healthier, and also like my cooking skill like upgraded a lot. With that style, with that like home cooking style.
And a lot of fantastic recipes.
Yeah, and also like it's not only for like health, for body, for your mind, for mental thing, and also like it create more interaction with my husband, because like cooking, having home cook, right? You send a love to your cook, and like he really enjoyed it. And like we always have to feedback each other when we cook, we eat, and like we build up our love from that too.
I love that. I totally agree, because we are what we eat. So to understand more about what she has shared, we have also prepared a video about Chị My and some of her viral videos, so that we can understand and learn more about the green lifestyle, the home cooking, because she is here as such a representative of Vietnamese youth in terms of green living. So please take a look.
They,
I love that. What do you think about those activities in her home?
Fantastic, very inspirational.
yeah,
I
thank
will
you.
start following you now.
Oh,
Oh my God, that's so honor. That's so honor to me. Yeah.
A lot of great ideas, especially the containers from the candles, how to recycle these things. How to recycle, I can add, for example, the bottles from the plastic that we use so much. We have in embassy actually exhibition preparing how to recycle the bottles, the PET bottles, the PET bottles, and there are so many ideas from our people in our country as well how to do it. So I think we can also connect you with them to have
love
more
it.
ideas.
Wow,
in
thank
your
you.
garden.
Wow.
Brilliant.
Oh my God, that's so honor to me.
I'm
Yeah.
also very curious about how did you start everything? Yes, from the beginning towards the green lifestyle.
Okay, so I just start going green lifestyle when I'm married.
Oh.
When I still living with my family. Yeah, that's I feel like okay. I just go to work and I go home and eating and go to sleep and that's it. And everything is decided by my mom. Like she decides to cook, she decides to buy the plastic jars bag or something. Everything she decided, and like I still like follow some go green like as a trend. Like okay, I don't use the straw, plastic straw. I don't use the plastic glass or something. But it's very shallow matter, right? It's not like so any quite deep problem. But once I like really married and like I really live apart from my family and I have my own family, so I have to take care of everything. Like I buy this and here, I have to take care of the kitchen, the house, and the toilet, everything. Then I say that wow, I have to buy a lot of like unharmful things for my family and for my health. So that's why I learned. I mean, I learned to change every bit of every corner of the house, first from the kitchens and then from the other place. And I think I married a Turkish guy. Actually, he have a quite a Western lifestyle, and also it's affected to me a lot in terms of like he go eating organic things quite early than that. And at the first, it's a little bit shock for me because I have to spend a lot of money for like very expensive thing, right? First you think like that, but you see that okay, that's worth to do because it's for your health. Yeah, it's for your health. It's to take care of your health. I choose the organic thing to wash the vegetable because that is something I will eat to my body. I need to find some organic thing to use for my hair, for my skin, for everything that good for me. And once I feel like okay, I feel care enough for myself. I care for the things surrounding me. Like I care for the everything that I put in the trash. I consider if it can recycle or not. I can do something more than that, or can reuse or whatever when I think that I put in the trash. So it just start when I feel like okay, that's good for myself first. That's good for my lifestyle, for my husband, for our family first, and then think for the like everything around us.
Definitely.
This always start from like that, and always I have my husband who's really accompanied with us, like we together to do that because we think that it need to do like something. I like bright atmosphere, right? I like bright, I like light, and I won't always like turn on the light everywhere I go, and he's always come and remind me, okay, turn this out, because he's like a vampire. He love like staying in the dark corner or something like that. Yeah, but he also have some bad habit, like he turn on the water flow like that, and like he wash his hand and brush the teeth, but keep it flow. But
Yes.
I always have to go and like stop it. That's why actually there's some habit and you think that it's not harmful, but you need someone like to go with you, to accompany with you, to look at that and like remind each other and like do it build up as a good habit. Yeah.
Yes.
And sometimes I spank him like, why do you use this plastic straw? Or what do you use this plastic bottle? You harm the mother nature. She's sorry and something, and like okay, we build up and like we find with the money, or we find with really funny spend like that. Yeah.
Yes, I totally agree. I think that you know, pursuing a green lifestyle really takes a lot of time, and we have to grow and we have to learn a lot on a daily basis to perfect that. And to make sure that each of our guests will have a chance to, spread some key messages and ideas to the audience about their daily activities, we will play a game, spice it up with a game.
Wow.
So basically this game is each of us will take turns to say a sentence related to an action we do to protect the environment on a daily basis. And then the other will have to repeat that sentence and add more actions in that sentence. And then the other will do the same, recall the sentence, two sentences, add more. And who just mess it up once will be eliminated.
Okay.
So we will do it until we find out who is the winner.
Okay.
So the game is called How Much Can You Remember? And it's also a chance for us to get to know more about our guests and their green lifestyle habits. Right, who will start first? Here's Miss Anne.
Okay.
I go biking to work.
Okay.
I go biking to work and I separate glass from plastic.
Okay. I go biking to work and I separate glass from plastic, and I plant the tree.
I plan
the tree.
I plant a tree.
Okay.
Oh, nice. I go biking to work and I separate a glass from plastic and I plant a tree and I use my water bottle.
I go biking to work. I separate glass from plastic. I plant a tree. I use my glass bottle instead of a plastic bottle, and I go for holiday by train.
Okay.
It's getting hotter and hotter, guys.
It is indeed. I go cycling to work. I separate plastic from glass. I
Oh, suddenly everything just froze.
Could we count out from here?
3,
I prepare food every day.
2, 1. The first one was me. I'm so sorry. I would love to help you, but I also want to win. So I'm like,
I know.
competition. No mentioning. All right, we'll keep up the game.
And now I have to repeat that?
Yeah, you have to keep repeating.
Okay, I biking. Okay, I go to work by bike, and I separate the glass by plastic. I plant a tree. I bring the water bottle, and I go to the holiday by train. And I sleep on the grass. I sleep on the grass.
On the grass.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I go biking to work. I separate glass from plastic. I plant a tree. I use my water bottle. I go on vacation by train, and I sleep on grass. And I sometimes have organic food, which I'm trying.
Okay.
I sometimes have organic food.
Okay.
I go biking to work. I separate glass from plastic. I plant a tree. I use my glass bottle. I go on holiday by train. I sleep on the grass. I sometimes eat organic food, and I recycle my clothes.
Wow.
Oh.
Wow. Okay.
I feel the smell of winning here.
It's quite hard for me right now,
It's
right?
hard.
Okay. I go to work by bike. I separate glass by plastic. I plant a tree. I use the bottled water. I go to the party or holiday. Yeah, the party or holiday by train. I sleep on the grass. I sometimes try to eat organic food, and I recycle the clothes I wear. And I love walk on the sand with my bare foot and take a sun bath.
Oh my God, you are just making it harder for me. You love to walk on the barefoot on the sand and take a sun bath.
Yeah. Okay.
Can I lose this time? Okay, I'm gonna try one more time. First of all, I go biking to work. I separate glass from plastic. I plant a tree. I use my water bottle. I go on vacation by train. I like to sleep on the grass. I somehow eat organic food. I recycle clothes that I wear, She's wearing recycled clothes, guys, by the way. I love to walking by barefoot on the sand and sunbathe.
Okay.
And I like to turn off the electricity in the house.
Okay,
This game seems endless, guys. Please,
endless.
I cycle to work, I separate glass from plastic, I plant a tree, I use my glass bottle, I go on holiday by train, I sunbath.
I sleep on the
You
grass.
sleep on the grass.
Yeah,
sleep on the
Sorry.
grass.
Okay, I'm out.
So as we have the winner. We have the winner here. Chị My.
Really? Oh my god. So I have any prize?
The prize is a round of applause and a lot of round of applause from
Glass
the
of water.
audience.
Yeah, plastic water.
I think it feels like by playing this game, we will be imprinted in our mind some activities towards the green living, which is very good because somehow raising awareness and being fully conscious of the environment is the very first step towards achieving a full green lifestyle. So let's talk about your country and how you grow with your sustainable living. So I'm very curious because as far as I'm concerned, countries in Europe always in the top 10, the world's most green, the most eco-friendly, conscious about environment. Everything is so fresh. That's something that we very respect and adore so much. So first of all, did you learn that at school? Like how did it start for you and in your country?
Well, in the case of Czech Republic, it was quite lengthy process.
Yes.
Because in the previous decades, under different, let's say, regime, we had a very tough relation with the actual nature and countryside. We destroyed what we could destroy, we did. And then we tried to, last 30 years, let's say, we tried to really change the track because we see it's not sustainable for us anymore. And we, with the adhesion to the European Union, we improved many practices, and I can say now the huge change that you can see in our country last 20 years, of course it didn't come from one day to other, it was a small process, but now all the people are aware of the importance to protect the environment. All the kids in the school know what they should do in the future to protect it better. I can give you examples, for example, recycling of we all now have in Europe the green is for glass, the yellow is for plastic, blue is for paper, right?
Nice.
But some 15 years ago, it was just something that the people did because they were forced to do it.
Yeah.
But they were so discouraged then that in the first years they could see that the same things that they separated home, in the news there was many news about it, that then it came up to the same one pile. It was not separated. Of course, this practices has changed completely. We separate, we recycle, we try to be less dependent on coal, which is, I think, the most important thing. Of course, we can do small steps, small actions as individuals, but unless the huge policy of how we will deal with the energetic policy will not change. I mean, this talk is not for that today, right? But this is the important thing. But the small steps that every individual can do can start with using less electricity. Just in Europe, this is not the case, and it cannot be helpful, I think, for Vietnam. But if we reduce in Europe the households, decrease the electricity for heating or the gas for heating just for 1 or 2 degrees during the winter season, we will not need actually the gas for the households anymore. So every individual actually can add significantly to the green life, to green style, and to climate change as well.
Definitely. And to understand more about the European green lifestyle that we really adore and can learn so much from that, please take a look at the videos right after this. Yes, the recycling clothes, the biking, protecting the environment, so green, so green. So let's talk about your country, Sweden. What is something that you are very impressed about the green lifestyle in your country?
I think two things. It's the long journey from when I grew up in the 70s. There was litter in the street. We didn't recycle waste. There was a lot of environmental problems. But at that point, the awareness of the environment started to grow from the early 70s and on. And today, 99% of household waste is recycled in Sweden. 72% of our population say that they make environmental conscious choices when they consume. So we have made the journey, but I really think that it takes time to change behavior, to change perception, to understand. And the second thing that I'm very optimistic about is the young generation. They are really driving the change, and I think it's young environmentalists like Greta Thunberg is inspiration for a lot of young people. In today, 1 in 5 young Swedes identify as vegetarian, for example. And I think our children and our young generation is pushing the older generation to move even quicker, because it's really about their future, and for us, the older generation, to hand over a healthy planet to the next generation.
Definitely, and I really love how you bring all of those Swedish green lifestyle elements to your living here in Vietnam and inspire the other young people, and that's really impressive.
Yeah.
I totally agree. The young people really have a key takeaways and a key roles in protecting the environment, because the nature is for the later generation. So, how about in your country? Is there any different, or do you share anything in common?
I would completely concur with Ambassador. But still, in the Czech Republic, we try to protect now more water sources as well. It's not that we drink more beer instead of water, but it's because there's the drink of the national drink. But recycling the rubbish, I think it has we actually scaled the ladder in the European countries of bottom to one of the leading countries in Europe. So we really recycle a lot of things. And one feature which is maybe not so important in other countries is the gardening, because there's a huge history of gardening in our country. But we are not talking about the gardens you have in your houses, the small ones, but we really like to go to the gardens that we have normally behind the city or in the outskirts of the city, and have them from potatoes, huge actually vegetables, everything that you can imagine. It's still they're very common to have a huge garden in the Czech Republic and to spend a lot of time on it.
Definitely. It just reminds me of the 3R: reduce, recycle, and reuse. And also the garden, not only for the fresh air, but also somehow good for our health in terms of food. That's brilliant. And also, Chitmi, I know that you traveled to some countries in Europe. How many countries have you been to?
Actually, not too much. I just traveled to Spain, Italy.
Yes.
Turkey actually cannot count it as Europe. Yeah, a little bit like Asia too. Yeah.
Yes. So, what is something that you're very impressed at in terms of green living there? About the air, the atmosphere, and everything?
Yeah, the air actually is very fresh. Actually, I just go there and I didn't have too much time to live there, but it's just like travel as a tourist,
Yes.
like maybe 5 days for one city. So actually, I'm quite impressed. I was very impressive when I see that in very corner in Rome. So there's a water fountain. Yeah, kind of. So you don't need to pay any cents or any dollars to pay for the water bottle. So you bring your own one, you got the water.
Yeah.
And also in every coffee shop, when you sit, they will serve you the glass of the water immediately, even though like you don't order order food or order drink. You just sit down. They take you one glass of water.
Lovely.
Yeah, that's lovely. And also this is something I can see that that thing is affect to their habit too, because maybe the parking fee is very high, and also some fee for the car in the city is very high, right? It seems like that. That's why people like refer go buy food or go biking than taking a car in the city.
Wow,
Yeah.
I wish I could do that. I live like 15 kilometers from work.
Yeah.
But somehow we could switch to bus and maybe electric cars and of course bike. Like
Yeah,
as
electric
mentioned
cars.
last
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, there are so many more environmental means of transport. Biking is of course one thing, but then you can turn to electric buses, electric motorbikes, and also going by public transport instead of being one person in one car or one person in one motorbike.
Right.
So I think transport is a very important aspect of our life. We talked about fashion is important, what you're eating is important. And I think that in our country there is also a trend in how you exercise.
Yes.
You go picking up trash while you're jogging. We call this plugging. So it's pick up is plocka upp in Swedish, so it becomes a new word. And this has become a worldwide trend with 10,000s of people plugging every day in 100 countries around the world. So this is a kind of a cool aspect. And I think when it comes to fashion, there's also a lot of things to do because fast fashion is one of the big challenges in greenhouse gas emissions. Of course, we all need clothes, so we need to change clothes from time to time. But
Yes.
clothes swapping, I think, is a really fun thing to meet up and change clothes. And also in Sweden, you have clothes libraries where you can borrow clothes or rentals if you just need a dress for a one-time use, for example.
Definitely.
I agree in terms of like fast fashion like can be a harm to the environment, but maybe it's just a term to say, but it's how you use it. This may be fast fashion for someone else, but you use it slow. Yeah, you use it slow. You mix and match. You like how you choose the quality material, so that you can use it longer.
Yeah, step by step. And I totally agree. And I really love how you talk about fashion because it's something that just appears every day in our life. We use it every day. And I know that your glasses are from recycled.
This is a brand that it's totally recycled. So these are made out of old glasses. And this top used to be a dress, and a Vietnamese designer remade it into a top. So instead of getting rid of the dress that I was fed up with, I got a top out of it. I have a handbag that is made out of recycled old handbags.
Yeah.
So I think there's a lot to do in terms of giving clothes new life.
Yeah.
And I have a friend that we have almost the same size and almost the same style. So every time we meet, we exchange 2-3 clothes items. So you get something fresh and you get rid of something that you are bored with.
Wow, nice. I think all of our guests here can probably have a business in the future related to green living. We have home cooking shows. We have maybe an organization, a company to separate different waste, glass from plastic, for example. We also had maybe a thrift shop to recycle clothes.
Yes. And also, I think this is also the good part here because she have a company to do that with her. In terms like exchange the clothes and something
right.
that they bought and they like. I think this always have a company to do it the same thing and with the same mission.
Yeah.
So it's make us grow, right? I think like that. Like my husband do it with me. Maybe you have kids go to do it with you.
Well, I have always kind of fights with my girlfriend because she wants me to change the dresses frequently, and I often tell her, especially in winter times, I can use one shirt for 2-3 days. It's okay, but it's not.
Is that smell?
Until it's smelly. But no, I mean in general, I can use these trousers for seasons. Yeah, the same goes with cell phone. My cell phone, I have it for 5-6 years. I don't need every year a new cell phone. And I think this can be also example for the people here in Vietnam or any other country. And about the picking of the rubbish that you mentioned. What I have a tip for the Vietnamese. We all go to countryside. We all go for camping or any kind. But what I always try to do, not to leave them any rubbish there. I mean, not that I drop, but I don't even, if they have the rubbish bin, I don't use them because I think that it anyway will stay there and they don't know how to deal with it.
Right.
Yeah? So it's better to take it back to your town where there are better options how to then recycle it. Don't leave it in the mountains, in the villages, because something they can use, but they cannot use anything or everything from that. So it's my tip.
Fantastic. And I think that today we had full of ideas fleeting all around the house, all around the room to maybe you can incorporate into your daily life. So I think that it's very important to be acknowledged why we are doing this, because the global warming, the climate change is real. I was born in the central Vietnam, and we witnessed a lot of storms, we witnessed a lot of natural disasters. We actually live with that because I was born in Nghệ An, a big province, but also a small city, big city in the country. A lot of storms, a lot of natural disasters, and when I was young, I didn't think that was a big problem because I live with that. But the older I grow, I think that yes, each action of us can really contribute to that. So everything is in our hands. So how we really handle that can be affecting a lot for our later generation. It's a big deal. So in Vietnam, nowadays a lot of young people are trying to pursue a green lifestyle, which is impressive. But a lot of people would say, oh, it's a little bit hard. Like Jimmy said, it's expensive, it's costly. How can we start doing it? What is the first step? So first question would be, what are some challenges for the young people when they first adjust to the sustainable and green living? And maybe Jimmy?
Yeah, actually, I got a lot of questions upon how to apply the green lifestyle to daily life. So I can see that a lot of barrier from the young people, like it's inconvenient. Yeah. Okay. It might take time. It might. I cannot find the trash bin or something. It's also excuse to that. Or it's like costly. It's spend more time for organic or like go green product or something. So there's always two big barrier, like inconvenient and also like price sensitive things matter. So it's always like that. But actually, there are two types of, how can I say, for example, when I use the food draft, it costs a lot if I count it on for 1 year. For 1 year, yeah. But if I just buy one silicone cover, I can use for 3 or 4 years. But actually, when I count it on the total amount of money, that's cheaper actually. So it's my costly at the beginning when you pay, yeah. But it's like cheaper in terms of like when you use it for a longer time because of its high quality. Yeah,
it goes a very long way.
Yeah. So that's mean like sometimes it's excuse, and I think that's like the hard things for them is like they hard to find the good reason to adapt the green lifestyle, because when they do a term go green, sometimes like intimidating, like it's quite frightening them. If they don't do that, people look at them and like, okay, you out trend. Yeah, they do because of the trend, not because of like they want it. So just find the big reason and why you interested to do it, and you will find a way. Like for example, like I didn't do that at the beginning, but because I want my health better, I want like home, my body, everything is better. So I start caring. Yeah, and I find a way to change a little bit by a little bit. Like as we say that. So at the beginning, it's not perfect. Yeah, I always had a mistake. My husband and I always have some mistakes to choose and pick things. But then we filter and we review and then we recycle. We try to do it better. That's the thing. So it's hard to do it perfect immediately at the first time, right?
But it would take step by step, and definitely I think that when we have the love for ourselves, we will spend that love, spare that love for the earth and the environment as well.
Right.
Before we talk to the guests who have a chance to be connected live and ask some ambassadors and deputy head of mission and so me some questions, I would love to ask about, do you notice any trends or activities to protect the environment in Vietnam, especially among the young Vietnamese people? Yes, please.
Yeah, I'm very optimistic about the young Vietnamese generation. I think they are interconnected digitally with the rest of the world. I think young people adapt much faster than older people. And I see electric motorbikes in the street. I see a lot of young people using tote bags instead of plastic bags, glass bottles instead of plastic bottles. So I think the awareness is there. And I think as a foreigner in this country, you're so grateful to be in this beautiful country with this beautiful environment. And it's depressing to see the air pollution and the storm season and the environmental degradation in the Mekong Delta. So of course we want to bring something back, and that's why I mean we try very much to show good examples, and we have a lot of guests coming to the Swedish residence, and we often show that we have solar panels on the roof, how we use the compost, how we plant the garden and so on. And I think people also get inspired, and especially young people, you can hear that they are already thinking about this, they are already doing this. Yeah,
definitely. And one thing I really love about the Vietnamese young people is that we get inspired easily from the influential people, and that is the reason why we often go to some talk shows, conferences, and tune in this live stream to get inspiration from all of you. How about you? What is something that you notice?
Well, I have been here for more than 4 years, and I have seen a huge change in that. Starting, if you go to coffee, it's very weird now if you get a plastic straw. There's a much less plastic than 4 years ago.
Yes.
But there must be, I think, still a further push. For example, in the supermarket, it should have been, I now heard it will be finally, but it should have been already in practice that the plastic box, if the plastic bag, if you want it, you have to pay for that.
That's
like,
right.
As it is in Europe.
I love that.
Right.
Because of course there will be people who will always forget the bag at home. It happens to me as well, but definitely it would reduce significantly the use of plastic bags here in Vietnam, which is if you go anywhere, it's a huge problem. But I think the people feel it, they see it. If they go to beach, if they go to countryside, they see it's a problem, and they are changing that. And again, the young generation is doing a great job. Of course, they cannot change the generation of their parents or grandparents who are used for different things. But there's a lot of promises for the future.
Thank you so much. So glad to hear that. And I think that in Vietnam we are very strong about plastic, but of course it's not perfect at the beginning. Like you say, we take step by step and hopefully can achieve the bigger result in the future. And now a lot of the audience are actually waiting in the line to have a chance to connect live with our guest and have some questions for the special guest. So please, the very first one, who would be? You're waiting. So we have collected a lot of questions from the guests in the registration link, but also some guests will have a chance to connect it live, and anyone who got a really good questions and talk to the ambassador and the guest here will have a chance to receive a gift. We have prepared a lot of gifts for you guys, so just stay tuned and ask us a lot of questions. Please put your questions in the comments down below, and maybe your questions will be answered by our special guest. And we hopefully hope that we can answer a lot of questions, but due to the limited time, here are some few questions that appear. Hello.
Oh.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi. Hello. My name is Nguyễn Quang Minh, and currently I am enrolling in international courses of economics faculty as a freshman at Diplomatic Academy of Vietnam. And it's my honor to be here in this meeting and have an opportunity to be aware of my concerns. Therefore, I have some questions for the ambassadors. My first question is, what does it cost to live a sustainable life? And my second question is, should I afford the cost of living green in regards to socio-economic development so as to achieve a green lifestyle that is in favor of nature, but at some degree unfavorable to people who live their lives of eco-unfriendly production? And do I have to repeat the second question because I think it's quite long?
Yeah. Thank you so much. You're from Diplomatic Academy of Vietnam, the school that I actually go to. Love you. First question would be the cost of sustainable living, but can I please rephrase your second question? Can you please rephrase the second question?
My second question is, should I afford the cost of living green in regards to socio-economic development?
Okay, like how to reconcile and balance everything with the green lifestyle and also the economic development.
Yes.
Thank you so much. So first question about the cost of living. Chị My, can you give some answers?
Actually, it's quite costly in the beginning, as I mentioned. Yeah. But it's, I mean, when you live in a longer life, I mean,
Yeah.
maybe you look back in this after 6 months or after 1 year. Actually, this is a big save. Yeah, it's a big save. Maybe instead of you ordering food, you cook at home. That's also the saving, right?
The saving.
Yeah. Right now, right now, it's just sometimes one day I'm busy, right, and I order food, and I see the food on the plastic stuff, and I feel like, oh, it's not yummy anymore because like the hot food into the plastic thing, it's become like micro plastic or something. What do you put on your house, and you don't see that okay, it's good anymore. So that's mean like sometimes you practice, and sometimes like you see that okay, that's not good for your health, but okay, you have to practice to do home cook instead of like ordering the food, or you sit in the restaurant to eat. So compare with the options like you cook at home or you order the food and you rest in the you eat in the restaurant. So home cook is like the best economical option, right?
Yes, definitely.
So it's just like this is 3 meals a day, right? And anything else you think that it costly if you go drink? Anything happen in your life that you think it can be costly if you go drink?
What do you think of in your mind? Something that very expensive when it comes to green lifestyle.
Yeah.
Maybe a lot. Oh, okay, the connection. But I think that before we like instead of thinking, oh, what expensive it is, how costly it is, do some options that is free for you. Maybe eat at home. Maybe you can also get some reduce and discount when you bring your water bottle, and reuse the clothes is also a way for you to save the money. So first start with the options of no money at all, but you can start saving the planet, and then moving on to organic food, to planting tree from something that maybe costs you a little bit. And I think that step by step is more important than the perfect result from the beginning.
Thank you, Vy.
Love you. So the second question is about balance the economic development and the green lifestyle. What are your thoughts on that?
You start,
Mr. Lucas?
This is really important question in this regard, because there's a lot of peer pressure, social pressure from your friends, from everybody to have some standard of life.
Yeah.
But the thing is, what is the standard actually? It's now being very much changed, the perception of successful economy in Europe and in other parts of the world, because we cannot expect in the future that our GDP will rise every year for 5-6%.
Yes.
This should not be the measure. The measure should be the quality of life. And unless you live in connection with what you like, with the countryside, with the nature, this should be more important than if you have every second year a new car, a new cell phone. But again, this cannot be imposed. The people have to feel it themselves. They have to feel that we really do not have any planet B. There's only one planet.
Yes.
And if we don't protect it in our environment, we are in trouble. Not us, but our, us
Generation.
also, but our kids and our next generation.
A very good quote from Mr. Lucas. We don't have any other planet. There is no planet B. The only thing we have here is the Earth that we are living, and we are not apart from nature. We are a part of nature. So it's very important to start from now on. What do you think, Ms. Anne?
Well, I think that there's also often a perception in international dialogue, a discussion about climate change, that developing countries and emerging economies have to slow down and not have the same kind of development that some of our countries have had. But I agree with Lucas that we are now at a point where everybody have to change, and I think in some way many other economies, including Vietnam, don't have to reproduce the same mistakes that we have done. There's a lot of technology that makes it possible to leapfrog and to continue economic and social development, but to do it in a green way. So I think there's a huge movement now to look at also how to shift heavy industry like steel production, mining, construction, cement production, and so on, to becoming green. And I think Vietnam has very good made good commitments and could be part of this movement of turning to a green growth model and embarking on the green transition already. And I think in the everyday life of people, I mean, there's a lot to say about the lifespan of products that we're buying, and we talked about it already in fashion. You can recycle, you can reuse. I think also when it comes to food, being a vegetarian, I love the Vietnamese foods, and they always have meat in them. But there is very good substitutes for meats today. So I eat bún chả, I eat pho, but with meat substitutes. And to me, they are as tasty and they are cheaper. So I eat more climate friendly, and I eat cheaper, and I still get to enjoy what I like.
Wow, if I have a chance, I would love to recommend you some top-notch vegetarian restaurants in Hanoi you can try out. But yeah, your accomplishment towards the Vietnamese youth movement in terms of green living just inspire us to do better. Even though we know that we have a lot of mistakes, but yeah, we're trying to do better. So move on to the next next audience who have the question, please. Hello. Hello, girl. Hello. Can you introduce about yourself first?
Okay, so my name is Thanh Lam. Right now I'm 19 years old, and I have a question for Miss Me. Actually, I have followed you on TikTok, so today I'm very honored to ask you a question. So my question is that for many young people today, starting a green life can be quite difficult, and not knowing where to start because of the convenience of plastic bags as well as disposal of plastic products. So according to you, according to your opinion, how to have a clear orientation to start living green lifestyle? Thank you.
A question for chị My.
Yeah, actually. So hello em, what's your name?
My name is Thanh Lam.
Lam.
Lam, a 19-year-old
Yes.
girl.
Hello Lam. Okay, I will answer your question because I just mentioned that I received a lot similar question like that, right? How to start, how to maintain the green life in daily life, right? So actually, you just observe things in your life right now. What can you want? What you want to change? What you want to change? You just start it. So for example, you see that you deny to use plastic. First, just start with that. And then first you deny to use less plastic. You deny to have a plastic waste, and then go to the second stage. You think if you can recycle it. Yeah, just 2 steps first. Yeah, actually because going green is in your life, right? There are a lot of things you put. Like you eating, you travel, you go to study, you go to holiday. In your life, it can be any context of your life. So you just like see in this context, what can you change to make it better, and what can you change to make you feel like good and you enjoy this moment, because that's hard to say to have a formula for every context, right? As I told you, like my story, like when I still live with my family, I just practice something very special. Like I don't use plastic. That's it, and it's quite shallow activities, and it doesn't like so a lot. But when I live, I really take care of my family. I really taking care of every corner of my family. I'm quite like I start caring. Yeah. So you choose you find the reason for yourself to see that, okay, why you do that, and you will find a way. Yeah. Before you buying the plastic draft, you think you thinking of is there any alternative to buying this food draft instead of using another material, or instead of buying this, you think of an alternative options for that. Yeah. So actually so I say that there are no formula for how to go green in your lifestyle, and you just find the reason why you do that, because you love your body, because you want your house better, because you love the fresh air, you love the sun is clean without or too much the air pollution. You find a way to do that. Yeah.
Thank you, Thanh Lam, so much for the question, and I hope that you now had maybe some kind of orientation for yourself. And I think it's very important to find a reason why you do that, why you love that, and start to learn to love that, and also do it day by day. Just start doing it right now. And one more tip, I think, for myself is that I start following some content creators that I admire a lot. I watch on YouTube, on TikTok, like me, a very green lifestyle content creator, and start watching them and get inspired by them. And that is somehow a very good and proper orientation for you to start your green lifestyle living. And we are very curious about some activities from the delegation of European Union to help raise awareness within the young Vietnamese people towards this problem. Yes, please, Mr. Lucas.
Well, we participate as the embassy for a few years already in the campaign Green Hanoi or Green Ho Chi Minh City, where we collect the rubbish. You can mention it many times. Sorry for that again, but yeah, we try to give examples to especially the young people how they should be more active in this and collecting and separate the rubbish. We quite have a few things in the pipeline for this year as the embassy. We want to have the exhibition what you can do from a recycled bottle from plastics. There's a quite big exhibition that we would like to display both in Hanoi and Ho Chi Minh City. And maybe the last but most important things that we haven't touched here yet from my point of view, but there was not time, is how to our approach to endangered species, the animals.
That's right.
It's a huge problem for us, for the Czech Republic, as other countries in the world, and the connection with the Vietnamese community there. You may know that after Germany and France, there's a third largest Vietnamese community residing in the Czech Republic, so more than 100,000 people. And of course, sometimes we face problems of the illegal or illicit transporting through our country and in our country of the endangered species that is used by traditional Vietnamese medicine as a part of tigers, rhinoceros, and these animals, which is really sad, because we have a lot of feedback from young Vietnamese that they really are against this practice. They don't believe it helps actually. But still, it's very sad that the Czech Republic, a country of 10 million people, has one of the largest number of small dead tigers in the world, which is caused by the actually demand from the Vietnamese community. So it's something that I'm not criticizing. I would like to have your help, or we help your outreach and the young people here in Vietnam to help us in this regard. We have a campaign called "Don't Sell, Don't Buy" in Vietnamese, with a lot of illustrations and pictures how these animals suffer. But there's much more to do, and I would ask you for help.
Fantastic. So we have exhibition that we can do a lot of things there. We also have the protection for endangered species, and we're very glad and proud that in Vietnam, actually, 2 years ago, we had the very first Green Nobel for the green environment from a Vietnamese young man protecting the endangered species. So I think maybe it's not very common nowadays, but each step, with the help of the EU delegation, everything can happen in the future. So how about you? Do you have any recommendations for?
Well, I think an important part of what the EU is doing here is also related to trade relations between Vietnam and the European countries. So we have a new trade agreement that entered into force in 2020. So I think we're looking at our companies present here in Vietnam, that they are acting in an environmentally friendly way, and that they look at their supply chains to have environmentally friendly and climate smart production in all parts of the supply chain. But also a very central part is our support to the energy sector and renewable energy, with a lot of European companies coming in, contributing in solar energy and in wind energy, in upgrading the grid to have a smart and upgraded grid, because Vietnam really have to move away from dependency on coal and have more renewable energy in the energy mix. So I think this is a big part of what the EU is doing here. And then it's complemented by some development cooperation projects on supporting environmental reforms. And then all of our embassies are doing a lot of activities in this field. So for Sweden, for example, we talked about plogging. We go plogging from time to time. We organize clothes swapping events. And we do this together with our alumni association. So these are young Vietnamese who have studied in Sweden, picked up some of these examples and some inspiration from Sweden, and then we're trying to do such activities here in Vietnam.
Definitely, and maybe some companies who are watching this, please contact us, our Swedish ambassador, our deputy head of mission of Czech Republic, and maybe we can cooperate with Sweden, with the Czech, and with the EU delegation in Vietnam to protect the greener environment. So, one last question before we wrap everything up about this green lifestyle episode. Each of you, can you give us one word to describe your feelings, your love about green lifestyle? One word. Start with you. What's your word?
Actually, it's fun. It makes me healthier.
Healthier. I love that. Healthier, and health goes a long way.
Yeah.
Mr. Lucas?
Be more, I would say, challenge.
Challenge. Yes. It can be challenging at the beginning, but challenge makes us stronger and grow more mature. Yes.
Hopeful.
Hopeful.
Or hopeful by action.
Yeah.
Hopeful by actions. With the hope, with the faith, with the actions, we can make it everything greener and more beautiful. Thank you. So we have hopeful, we have challenge, and we also have healthier. Nice. And for my word is that grateful. I think it's very important for us to pay our grateful feelings towards the earth, the planet, and everyone around us, and even the clothes we are wearing, the water we are drinking, the air we are breathing, so that we can maybe shape our action towards the green lifestyle. So thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for joining us. It is our pleasure to have you here. We learned so much about you, about the green lifestyle, and we do hope that you, the audience, can also learn from our guest today. So as Mr. Lucas said, there is no planet B. And as Jimmy said, it helps us healthier, health goes a long way, and we can totally be hopeful about the future if we do everything together. So love the Mother Earth, love the environment, and start from now with the green lifestyle. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is the second episode of View, the green lifestyle in daily life. Thank you. See you next time. Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye. Chào mọi người. Cảm ơn mọi người nhiều.